What's up, guys? Specstar here today with my face cam not working. Thank you very much. OBS, I believe, is the guilty party, not my computer's webcam. But oh, I guess you'll have to deal with this one without my beautiful face. I hope Steelix's beautiful jaw will help as my replacement. Although I'm sure the females are very disappointed by this turn of events. Regardless, I wanted to bring you a video on this team before I started to use it, so I guess I'm going to talk about it. Now, this tournament is actually quite different than other tournaments. You have a budget of 50 points rather than 100, and you can build a team of 8 Pokemon, none that cost more than 12 points, and there are some certain bans such as Suicune is one. So it's a little bit different, but it sounded pretty interesting when the idea came, so get it going. Let's see the team here. My first pick here, Haxorus. Haxorus is going to be a monster in the low tiers, I think. And it has Z capabilities, which means I can drop some Dragoniums and things. And that speed stat, which isn't very great at all, gets quite a bit better down here in the low tiers. There aren't really that many things that are faster than it, so it has the potential to be dangerous, and has the potential to make use of both Dragon Dance or Swords Dance. And with the coverage it has and the Z capability combined with that hefty 147 attack, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this thing can do down here. Yeah, especially considering if you think it's half the points budget, so each Pokemon basically costs twice as much. And that means that getting Haxorus down here for 12 is saying down here it's equivalent to having a 24-point Pokemon in a 100-point draft. And I definitely think it's worth it. I think Haxorus just has the potential to smash through some teams. So with my next pick, I went here and I took Mega Steelix, which looks like potentially the worst dildo/anal beads ever made. But hopefully what it lacks in erotic capability, it can make up for in being a defensive fucking wall. This thing has a defense stat that goes up to 614. So this thing is just gonna eat. And I went and grabbed it because the thing cost 6 points. I thought down here, low budget, that's a bargain. Plus that steel type, the bulky steel type that beats other steel types to go with Haxorus, I thought it was a can't miss pairing. Speaking of can't miss pairings, with my next pick, I went and I took Aromatisse. And Aromatisse is here to do mostly one thing, and that is pass big ass wishes to Steelix. Steelix and Aromatisse basically wall what each others are weak to, and Aromatisse can serve as a cleric for Steelix. So what Steelix lacks in recovery, it gets a big aid from Aromatisse. And I thought 8 points was quite a bit for Aromatisse, but considering I had Steelix, I thought it was definitely going to be worth it. And it's neat that it has the ability Aroma Veil, which does a few things, but mostly it just prevents it from being taunted. That's by far the most important. And with that, I'm going to have no problem throwing off some wishes. And yeah, I went back to defense with my next pick just because it was 5 points. I had to grab it. I went and I got me a Golbat. And I have goals for this bat. I expected to put in some work. And it just goes well with the Aromatisse Steelix pairing. Any of the moves that really like the other ones, like good hard-hitting ground moves, Golbat's just going to come in on those. And it also provides a defogger, and there are very limited good hazard control options in this, so I thought it would be a good pick. Golbat's a Pokemon I've got a lot of experience with. I'm a big fan of. It's just a big fat wall that I think people are going to have a hard time breaking. And with my next pick, I got my second Z user, using up all 15 of my Z points with Haxorus and Barbarical. And yeah, as I just said, we got Barbarical. And 3 points, I could not ignore this thing because it gets a little move called Shell Smash. And in this low tier with Z move capability, good luck trying to take hits from this thing at +2. And for a meager 3 points, it was just such a steal, I could not even think about passing up on it. It has that ability Tough Claws, which of course boosts the power of contact moves and adds even more power to this thing, which has a pretty decent but not great attack stat, and of course that busted move Shell Smash. So it'll be interesting to see what this thing can do. Interestingly enough, it gets a move called Grass Knot, which is also busted, which is not busted, it's also buffed by Tough Claws for some reason. Special type move that gets buffed by Tough Claws. It's not really relevant to anything, I just thought I'd bring it up. To my knowledge, Grass Knot and Drain Kiss are the only contact special moves, but fact check me if I'm wrong, I guess. And for my next pick, I went again with something I'm very comfortable using in the regular third tier systems. I went and I grabbed me a Sock for 6 points, and Sock is multiple things within the same kind of framework. It can be Scarf and just kind of clean. It can be a counter sweeper, or I don't know if you call it a counter sweeper. What do you call something that kind of helps control sweepers? Is there a word for it? Anyway, it's sturdy. It helps me deal with setup sweepers. Really, it's a Pokemon I've used a lot and really like. Of course, with Band, it can be a phenomenal stall breaker. It has great coverage, and as much as I love the Pokemon in regular tiers, I look forward to seeing what it can do in the lower tiers. And I've got 2 Pokemon left here. Next, I went and I dropped 9 points on Jolteon, and there is a pretty massive lack of speed on my team aside from Jolteon, so I grabbed Jolteon, and it's going to be interesting, especially because against my team, you're probably not wanting to bring Scarf. If you do, it's just for Jolteon, so that creates a lot of interesting potential for Jolteon. And as the thing gets up to 359 speed is Modest, down here I'm probably going to get to run it Modest a lot, giving it actually a decent amount of power, because at Modest the thing gets up to a 350 special attack, which isn't bad at all. Yeah, it definitely suffers from a lack of coverage, but that nice quick electric throwing off volt switches, ooh. I like it. Speaking of Volt Switch, that definitely paves the way for ground types and other electric types. So we went and we grabbed ourselves a Quilladin with our one last point. And Quilladin is just a little bit of a bulky motherfucker. I put an Eviolite on this thing, make it Impish, or I can make it Calm or Careful, whatever. I get it up. And this thing has, with an Eviolite, 460 defense, approximately. I didn't use the calculator for that, but the thing gets some interesting options: Sword Stance, Bulk Up, Belly Drum, just for attack boosting moves. Gets moves like Leech Seed, and Spikes. It has some interesting coverage options. Of course, all the fighting moves, because the thing evolves into Knot. It gets Gyro Ball and Iron Head. It gets Poison Jab and Sludge Bomb, Shadow Claw, Rock Slide, Stone Edge, Stomping Tantrum, all sorts of coverage. Thunder Punch, Zen Headbutt, Super Fang, which is pretty relevant for this thing, and Roar. So really, it's an interesting little thing. I think it's a good Pokemon, and for 1 point to go ahead and get me a nice bulky Grass, I was not going to pass up on that, and I was excited that it was there. So That's going to be my team here. I've got myself a Haxorus, Megasteelix, Romatisse, Golbat, Barbaracle, Sock, Jolteon, and Quilladin. And it's going to be that. I should have battles going on for this pretty soon. I mean, the pool started and I got some battles to schedule. Haven't had many videos up lately. Been a crazy ass week for me. I've had a midterm week. I'm sleep deprived. I've been doing more studying than my brain can handle. I just had to get this video up and talk about the team a little bit before I started doing battles. Should be able to get more up after I do my final exam for the midterms, which is tomorrow. And then I can go back to being a student who doesn't study, which is where I'm at my best. So, yeah. Again, thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a